Zainab Hadid's trembling whisper, "My babies are so perfect and beautiful," hung in the air as a mother's love met a monster's wrath. The 18-year-old daycare worker, cradling her newborn twin girls, never saw the shadowed figure slink into her Blue City hospital room. A knife gleamed, slashing through her chest with a sickening crunch, tearing her neck and piercing her eye in a savage frenzy, her life snuffed out in a grotesque tableau of gore. Screams shattered the maternity ward, nurses stumbling over crimson-soaked sheets as the killer vanished. Hassan Randy, her fiancé, wailed, "Who did this?" She was everything I had, his grief masking a betrayal, an affair with Brenda Davies, a concierge whose obsessive love burned with vengeance. Stung by Hassan's public rejection at a Lakewood festival, Brenda's heart became a cauldron of rage. Who would butcher a mother hours after childbirth? What twisted mind turned a hospital into a slaughterhouse? Lakewood's black community roars for justice, their anguish for Zainab's orphaned twins and son echoing. Dive into a chilling abyss where jealousy forged a blade of betrayal, unraveling a murder so vicious it scarred a city's soul forever. The soft hum of monitors filled Blue City Hospital's maternity ward, a fragile calm shattered by Zainab Hadid's final push. Her twin girls emerged, their cries a fleeting symphony of life. Zainab, 18, a daycare worker whose love for children defined her, gazed at them, whispering, "My babies are so perfect and beautiful." Her warm smile, framed by tight curls, masked the exhaustion of her second delivery. Raised by a single mother in Lakewood, Colorado, she'd built a modest life with her fiancé, Hassan Randy, 20, and their young son. But as nurses swaddled the newborns, a shadow crossed the threshold, a figure cloaked in black, eyes glinting with malice. The knife struck with merciless precision, slicing Zainab's chest, tearing through her neck, and plunging into her eye. Crimson sprayed across white sheets, her body crumpling in a brutal instant. Screams erupted, nurses stumbling over the carnage as the killer fled, vanishing into the hospital's maze. Hassan, a storekeeper at Lakewood City Mall, paced the hallway, barred from the room due to complications. His Toyota Corolla sat outside, a silent witness to his frantic wait. When nurses broke the news, his cry, "Who did this? She was everything I had," echoed, raw with grief, yet shadowed by unease. Detectives Kim Morgan and Andrew Hogan arrived on January 17, 2024, their boots heavy on the ward's polished floors. Kim, a senior homicide detective with 15 years of grit, surveyed the scene, her tech-savvy mind already parsing clues. Andrew, a retired mercenary turned detective, clenched his jaw at the savagery. The Lakewood community, tight-knit and vibrant, reeled, their whispers of Zainab's kindness clashing with the horror. Zainab had no enemies, her life devoted to her daycare kids and family. Yet the precise stab wound suggested a calculated vendetta, not a random act. Kim's gaze lingered on Hassan, his trembling hands betraying more than sorrow. The investigation ignited, with security footage showing a masked figure slipping through corridors. Nurses recalled no strangers, only Hassan's restless pacing, noted by Dr. Lena Reynolds, the pediatric surgeon who delivered the twins. Her calm voice, "The delivery was smooth, no issues at all," contrasted with the chaos now unfolding. As the ward's lights flickered, the weight of Zainab's loss settled, her twins now motherless. The killer's motive remained a chilling enigma, but the blade's brutality promised a truth as sharp and unforgiving as the weapon itself. A framed photo of Zainab Hadid and Hassan Randy, their son beaming between them, sat on a modest Lakewood apartment's shelf, a relic of happier days. Their nearly 4-year bond, forged in high school, had weathered Zainab's financial struggles and Hassan's absent father. Zainab, pouring her heart into Lakewood's daycare center, dreamed of a stable future. Hassan, his Toyota Corolla, a constant on City Mall's lot, stocked shelves with quiet ambition. But beneath their shared laughter, cracks had formed, invisible to Zainab's hopeful eyes. The breakup never came, but Hassan's heart wandered. At a warehouse job, he met Brenda Davies, a hotel concierge at Magnolia Hotel and Suites, her Mercedes a stark contrast to his modest life. Brenda's charm turned to obsession, her Signal app messages flooding Hassan's phone with pleas. "You promised you'd leave her," she wrote, her words laced with desperation. Hassan's vague replies, "Be patient, it's complicated," only stoked her fire. Zainab's twin pregnancy, announced with joy, was a blow to Brenda, who saw her dreams of Hassan unraveling. A public rejection at a Lakewood festival where Hassan turned away from her in front of a crowd seared her pride, her jealousy, now a blade honed for vengeance. Kim Morgan, her detective's instincts razor sharp, uncovered the affair through Hassan's encrypted messages. "This was personal, planned to the last and little detail," she told Andrew Hogan, whose mercenary past sharpened his suspicion. "This hit too close to home for it to be random," he replied, eyeing Hassan's evasive demeanor. Brenda's private blog, accessed via Kim's tech skills, revealed chilling entries. "She stole my life. I'll end hers." Zainab, oblivious, had poured love into her daycare kids, her middle-class roots grounding her. Hassan's minor theft record as a teen hinted at a troubled past, but nothing tied him directly to the murder. Yet. The investigation deepened, with Brenda's social media stalking painting a portrait of obsession. Her martial arts training, honed in Lakewood's gyms, suggested a killer's precision. As Kim traced the festival incident, the public humiliation emerged as a spark for Brenda's rage. The Lakewood community, mourning Zainab, began to whisper of justice, their vigils a testament to her legacy. Hassan's grief seemed genuine, but his secrets loomed, a puzzle Kim and Andrew were determined to unravel. A faint hum from Kim Morgan's laptop pierced the stillness of her Lakewood precinct office, its glow revealing a chilling archive of Brenda Davies' private blog. Each entry dripped with raw obsession, a digital testament to her fixation on Hassan Randy, the man whose heart she craved. "He's mine. She'll never have him," Brenda typed, her words a festering scar from Hassan's public rejection at a Lakewood festival. The crowd's mocking jeers had shredded her pride, her love for Hassan morphing into a vow of retribution. Kim, her 15 years in homicide honing her instincts, clicked deeper, her tech-savvy fingers unearthing a killer's mind. "This was personal, planned to the last and little detail," she whispered, the screen's light casting her face in sharp relief. Brenda, a concierge at Magnolia Hotel and Suites, had first locked eyes with Hassan at his warehouse job, her sleek Mercedes, a stark contrast to his weathered Toyota Corolla. Their Signal app exchanges, cracked open by Kim's team, laid bare Brenda's desperation. "You swore you'd leave her. Why her twins?" Hassan's noncommittal responses, "It's not that simple," fanned her rage. Zainab Hadid, unaware of the storm brewing, had poured her soul into Lakewood's daycare center, her life a beacon of love for her son and newborn twin girls. But Brenda's blog entries grew darker, one line searing. "Her joy is my torment. I'll end it with a blade." Andrew Hogan, his ex-mercenary senses attuned to danger, combed Brenda's social media, uncovering videos of her practicing martial arts in Lakewood's dojos. Her fluid movements, precise and lethal, mirrored the knife savagery that stole Zainab's life, chest, neck, eye. "This hit too close to home for it to be random," Andrew said, his voice taut with conviction. The festival rejection, captured in a grainy bystander video, showed Hassan brushing past Brenda's outstretched hand, the crowd's laughter a match to her jealousy's tinder. Kim replayed the clip, the moment of public humiliation, a clear catalyst for Brenda's descent into murder. The Lakewood community, their hearts heavy with Zainab's loss, lit candles at vigils, their calls for justice growing louder. Brenda's blog, a virtual diary of her unraveling, revealed meticulous planning. "I've watched her hospital, her routines. She's vulnerable." Kim traced Brenda's online activity, finding searches for Blue City Hospital's layout and security gaps. Andrew cross-referenced her martial arts training logs, noting sessions focused on knife techniques. The evidence mounted, each digital breadcrumb a step toward the woman who turned love into a lethal obsession. The investigation's pulse quickened, Brenda now the focal point. A final blog post written in the hours before Zainab's murder chilled Kim to her core. "Tonight, I reclaim Hassan with her blood." Andrew's jaw tightened, the weight of Zainab's daycare legacy clashing with Brenda's calculated malice. The detectives mapped out a surveillance plan, their sights locked on Brenda's movements, the truth of Zainab's death, a mother's light extinguished by a vengeful blade, drawing ever closer. The low rumble of Lakewood's nightlife pulsed outside Magnolia Hotel and Suites, where Brenda Davies' Mercedes glinted under a flickering street lamp. Inside an unmarked van, Kim Morgan adjusted her binoculars, her tech-driven focus locked on Brenda's silhouette behind the concierge desk. Brenda's fingers danced nervously across her phone, her composure fraying like a threadbare rope. Andrew Hogan, his ex-mercenary instincts honed by years in shadows, murmured, "She's unraveling. She knows the net's tightening." The city's heartbeat, alive with Lakewood's mourning for Zainab Hadid, fueled the detectives' relentless pursuit. Blue City Hospital's grainy security footage had captured a figure in civilian clothes, their frame echoing Brenda's, slipping into a restroom hours before Zainab's murder. Kim's digital forensics pinpointed the spot where the killer likely donned black attire, a critical link to Brenda's calculated act. Her martial arts training, perfected in Lakewood's gyms, explained the knife's ruthless precision, chest, neck, eye, that silenced Zainab forever. Brenda's Signal app messages to Hassan Randy, unearthed by Kim's team, screamed of betrayal. "You humiliated me for her twins." Hassan's curt replies, dodging commitment, had stoked her vengeance, the festival rejection, a wound that bled into murder. Hassan's Toyota Corolla screeched into the hotel lot, his sudden appearance igniting a firestorm. Through the glass doors, Kim and Andrew watched Brenda's arms thrash, her voice a muffled roar as Hassan gestured wildly. Their clash, recorded by Kim's hidden camera, crackled with raw emotion, hinting at secrets, but not partnership, in crime. Hassan sped off, leaving Brenda slumped, tears streaking her face, her Mercedes a silent witness to her turmoil. Zainab's daycare legacy, a beacon in Lakewood's community, fueled vigils that lit the night, her son and twins now their rallying cry. Kim's team dug deeper, uncovering Brenda's blog posts from her Mercedes, detailing hospital reconnaissance. "I know her room, her moment of weakness." Andrew's gut churned, the case's intimacy a blade of its own. "This hit too close to home for it to be random," he said, his words a vow to Zainab's memory. The detectives mobilized for a raid on Brenda's apartment, the evidence, knife skills, blog, festival video, pointing to a killer whose obsession turned love into slaughter. Lakewood's pulse quickened, the community's grief a drumbeat driving the hunt, Brenda's shadow now within grasp. A crowbar gleamed in the dim light of Brenda Davies' Lakewood apartment, raised high as she lunged at Detective Kim Morgan. The air crackled with fury, Brenda's eyes wild with desperation, her concierge poise shattered. Kim sidestepped, her 15 years in homicide fueling her reflexes, and Andrew Hogan, his mercenary instincts razor-sharp, tackled Brenda to the floor. Handcuffs snapped shut, her screams echoing through the dilapidated building. The raid, launched after surveillance pinned Brenda as Zainab Hadid's killer, uncovered a chilling arsenal. A blood-crusted knife, black clothing, and $4,000 stashed in a gym bag, her Mercedes parked outside, primed for escape. Kim's tech-driven search revealed Brenda's private blog, its entries a roadmap to murder. "Zainab's twins stole my future. I'll carve her out," one post seethed, penned after Hassan Randy's public rejection at a Lakewood festival. The humiliation had ignited Brenda's jealousy, her martial arts training sharpening her knife skills for the brutal attack, chest, neck, eye, that ended Zainab's life. The knife, its blade matching the wounds, sat in an evidence bag, a silent accuser. Zainab, beloved for her daycare devotion, had been oblivious to Brenda's obsession with Hassan, her fiancé of nearly 4 years. Andrew sifted through the apartment, finding a Signal app chat on Brenda's phone. "You chose her twins over me," she wrote to Hassan, his Toyota Corolla a frequent sight at her hotel. Hassan's replies, evasive, had pushed Brenda to the edge. The Lakewood community, their vigils for Zainab growing, demanded justice, their voices a chorus for her son and twin girls. Kim uncovered a festival video, Hassan's dismissal of Brenda before a jeering crowd, her pride bleeding into rage. "This was personal, planned to the last in little detail," Kim said, her voice steady but eyes burning. The apartment's walls seemed to pulse with Brenda's fixation. A hidden blog post, time-stamped hours before the murder, read, "Tonight, I end her mockery and claim Hassan." Andrew's gut twisted, the case's intimacy chilling. "This hit too close to home for it to be random," he muttered, bagging a martial arts medal that spoke to Brenda's deadly precision. The evidence piled up, knife, clothes, blog, each piece a step toward justice for Zainab, whose daycare legacy lingered in Lakewood's heart. Brenda's arrest, a violent crescendo, promised a confession, her motives ready to spill like the blood she'd shed. The interrogation room's fluorescent buzz cut through Brenda Davies's silence, her tear-streaked face a mask of defiance and despair. Kim Morgan sat across, her tech-savvy mind dissecting every flinch, while Andrew Hogan's ex-mercenary stare bore into Brenda's resolve. "We have your knife, your blog, your Signal chats," Kim said, her voice a scalpel. Brenda's confession came in a torrent, her obsessive love for Hassan Randy laid bare. "I wanted her gone," she choked, admitting she acted alone, driven by jealousy and a public rejection that scorched her soul. Brenda detailed her infiltration of Blue City Hospital, posing as a visitor in her Mercedes, exploiting lax security to locate Zainab Hadid's room. "I asked a nurse, said I was her cousin," she said, her voice hollow. Zainab, radiant after birthing twin girls, lay vulnerable, her daycare warmth no shield against Brenda's blade. The festival humiliation, Hassan turning from her in Lakewood's crowd, had festered, her blog raging, "She mocks me with her perfect life." Brenda's martial arts honed her attack, the knife slashing Zainab's chest, neck, and eye in a frenzy of vengeance, her blood pooling as Brenda fled. Signal messages confirmed Hassan's ignorance, his Toyota Corolla far from the hospital during the murder. "He didn't know," Brenda sobbed, her remorse not for Zainab, but for losing Hassan, who distanced himself post-murder. "I thought he'd be mine," she whispered, her dream shattered. Kim and Andrew exchanged glances, the cold selfishness of Brenda's act chilling even their seasoned hearts. The Lakewood community's vigils, now a nightly ritual, mourned Zainab, their cries for her son and twins fueling the case. Brenda's guilty plea, a bid to dodge the death penalty, loomed, her courtroom remorse a stark shift from her rage. Kim replayed Brenda's blog, its final entry, a vow. "Her death frees us." The words clashed with Zainab's daycare legacy, her love for children etched in Lakewood's memory. Andrew's voice cut through. This hit too close to home for it to be random, his words now a lament for Zainab's stolen future. The confession sealed Brenda's fate, her 40-year sentence inevitable, but the scars of her betrayal ran deep, a community's grief and a killer's regret intertwined. Candlelight flickered across Lakewood's Blue City Hospital steps, where hundreds gathered, their voices a unified chant for Zainab Hadid. The black community's vigils, now a nightly ritual, honored the daycare worker whose love for children had touched countless lives. Banners demanded justice for her brutal murder, chest, neck, and eye pierced by a knife, and care for her orphaned son and twin girls. Inside a Lakewood courtroom, Brenda Davies faced her reckoning, her once defiant eyes now hollow as she stood before the judge, her concierge poise replaced by a prisoner's slump. Brenda's guilty plea, a calculated move to avoid the death penalty, secured a 40-year sentence without parole. Her courtroom remorse, a stark shift from her rage-fueled confession, stunned onlookers. "I let jealousy consume me," she whispered, tears tracing her face, her words echoing her private blog's obsession with Hassan Randy. The festival rejection, where Hassan dismissed her before a jeering crowd, had ignited her vengeance, her martial arts-honed knife skills ending Zainab's life. Detective Kim Morgan, seated in the gallery, watched with steely resolve, her 15 years in homicide ensuring no loopholes marred the case. "This was personal, planned to the last in little detail," she'd said, and the evidence, knife, blog, signal chats, sealed Brenda's fate. Hassan took the stand, his Toyota Corolla parked outside, a symbol of his fractured life. His testimony laid bare his affair, the unkept promises to Brenda, fueling her obsession. "I never meant for this," he choked, his voice heavy with guilt for Zainab, whose daycare legacy lingered in Lakewood's heart. The community's grief fueled their activism, with calls for daycare scholarships in Zainab's name. Andrew Hogan, his ex-mercenary instincts quieted by the trial's end, noted, "This hit too close to home for it to be random," his words now a tribute to Zainab's memory. The judge's gavel fell, and Brenda's sentence sparked cheers outside, the community's resolve unbroken. Kim and Andrew reviewed the case files, ensuring every detail, from the bloodied knife to Brenda's festival humiliation, was airtight. Zainab's twins, now under Hassan's care, became Lakewood's cause, their future a beacon amid the tragedy. The courtroom's echo faded, but the pursuit of healing, driven by a community's love, promised a new chapter, one where Zainab's light would endure. A soft lullaby drifted from a Lakewood nursery, where Hassan Randy cradled his twin daughters, their eyes mirroring Zainab Hadid's warmth. Her son, clutching a stuffed bear, slept nearby, unaware of the void left by his mother's murder. Hassan's Toyota Corolla, parked outside, bore the weight of countless hospital visits, where he'd sat with the twins, whispering promises to be the father Zainab believed in. The Blue City Hospital murder, Zainab's life stolen by a knife to her chest, neck, and eye, had scarred Lakewood. But her daycare legacy sparked a movement. The community's love, a lifeline for her children. The Black community's vigils evolved into action, funding daycare scholarships in Zainab's name, with her passion for children now a cornerstone of Lakewood's future. Banners from the trial, proclaiming justice for Zainab, adorned community centers, serving as a testament to their unwavering demand for her orphan's care. Brenda Davies, locked away for 40 years, haunted Hassan's thoughts, her obsessive love and festival rejection a fatal misstep he'd unwittingly fueled. Her signal chats, once pleading for his heart, now sat in evidence lockers alongside the bloodied knife that ended Zainab's life. Kim Morgan closed the case file, her tech-savvy precision ensuring Brenda's conviction stood firm. This was personal, planned to the last in little detail, she reflected, the weight of Zainab's loss lingering. Andrew Hogan, his ex-mercenary edge softened, stood by her saying, "This hit too close to home for it to be random," his words a nod to the community's resilience. The case's national ripple, a warning of jealousy's destructive power, echoed in true crime circles. Zainab's story, a cautionary tale of betrayal, turned deadly. Hassan, his guilt a heavy shadow, vowed to raise his children with Zainab's strength, their nursery a shrine to her memory. Lakewood streets, once lit by vigils, now buzzed with hope, the community's scholarships ensuring Zainab's love for children lived on. Kim and Andrew, their work done, watched a daycare groundbreaking, Zainab's name etched on its sign. The twins' laughter, a fragile melody, carried her spirit, a bittersweet promise of renewal amid the scars of a murder that shook a city to its core. If today's case left you questioning everything, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more truths that chill to the core. Until then, stay curious and stay safe.